Hello, good day. I will be teaching about Autodesk Maya. So, let's start with introducing myself. I am Brylle Justin Atienza Ramos. You can see here in my LinkedIn profile, I am currently the senior lead 3D artist and the VR and Unreal developer for Norwegian Training Center. So, you can see my qualifications below. These are the projects that I've worked on. Solvang, Aurora. These are shipping vessels, real homes for furnitures, twisted realms. These are my skills. Maya, Painter. This is my portfolio. And this is my experience. So, I worked with Norwegian Training Center in Pasay. Then, I started teaching on my alma mater, PLV, as a 3D Multimedia Arts professor. And I worked with Real Homes, being the senior 3D artist and worked on the website. Also, I worked on STI and easy printing, and also here I did my internship and Cafe Franco. Now let's view my portfolio quickly here so that you can see my qualifications. So you can see the titles. This is for Hog. This is for PLV Real Homes. Most of the 3D works, you kind of have to put a watermark or logo there so that people would know what company you're affiliated with. So now we don't have much time. We can start with the hotkeys first. So you can see here, these are the default hotkeys. I will try to explain everything as best as I can. So this is escape. So if there's a tab, you want to close it. Escape. This is for animation, moving 3D objects. For polygons, modeling, dynamics for effects, rendering for the final product, object mode, vertex, edge, and faces. So I will show earlier on the demo what's that about. Then this is for the UV mode. And you can see here the different previews. So no smooth preview, smooth preview, wireframe shaded textures and lights. So these are the different stages, the different types of display. And I will also show that later on the demo. This is for increasing and decreasing the controls. This is for deleting something. For the brushes, move, rotate, and scale. And my currently used like the normal mouse. For the paint mode, insert keys, open, frame, undo, control Z, redo, and last. So if you're curious what I mostly use here is undo, control Z, control copy, control paste, and last use tool. And I mostly do my work by clicking on the icon so that I know what to look for. And then we can go through quickly on the PowerPoint on what is Autodesk Maya. Let's start with me. I'm Brylle Justin Atienza Ramos. I already discussed everything earlier. You see these objects right here. This is the excavator, deck lifter. This is for the machines. This is a fire extinguisher, pistol, shotgun, tables, aircon. So you can see the different objects that I made. Now, what is Autodesk Maya? To put it simply, in Autodesk Maya, you can do anything in 3D. So, just a brief background. Autodesk has many products like AutoCAD and Navisworks. And they have a product called Autodesk 3ds Max. So, in the past, 3ds Max was used for 3D modeling. But now, they transitioned in focusing on Autodesk Maya. Earlier in the past, Autodesk Maya was used mainly for animation, but now some of the tools in 3ds Max, they put it on Autodesk Maya. So in short, anything you want to do in 3D, you will do it in Autodesk Maya. So earlier in my years when I was a kid, I was watching these different 3D films, movies, Avengers, Frozen. So all the digital 3D movies were mostly made on Autodesk Maya. What is Autodesk Maya? It's for 3D animation, modeling, simulation, rendering, and other things. To put it simply, I'm going to try my best to each give a sense of thought of what everything is. So 3D modeling, it's like you're building something in Lego. You're constructing something. So you're building something, drawing something in 3D. And on 3D animation, the the object that you drew or the object that you have, it's going to move or animate. Then on simulation, there are different visual effects for water, lightning, fire. And for rendering, just imagine there is an object and you're going to use your back camera on your phone and you're going to take a picture of it with some lighting. So that's really about what rendering is. So the key features mostly cover around character rigging, fluid simulations, and other things that you can do. So what are those words? Character rigging is for putting bones on a character so that you can move slash animate it. And fluid simulations, you can see here on what I did. These are fluids, water, animation. You can simulate that there also. Then, using modeling techniques and sculpting techniques. So there are different types of modeling techniques. We will go into that later down the line. And animation, as I said, you will use keyframes to match where one object is going to another place. The coordinates in geometry, X, Y, Z. And then the graph editor where you will be using for plotting keyframes. And for texturing and shading, so mainly this is for adding colors and materials to your object. And lighting, so once you have colors and materials, you can see on my render here, I have these light parts here. This is bloom. So we will cover that later down the line. And for rendering, so this is the final product. So you can see a bit of light here, bit of shadow, and I just edited the Photoshop the logo. And integrating with other software, you might say that, oh, this is my work again. But can you see those lines here? Those lines here came from Unity 3D because in the past, when I worked on Twisted Realms, I did this whole house. Then I imported it on Unity 3D. For those who don't know, Unity 3D is a game engine. You can make games there and develop using code, programming, or commands. Then on community resources, you can see here, this is me. It's just covered. I was also teaching Autodesk Maya in the past, and there are many guides on YouTube on how to use it. On real-world applications, for architectural product designs, you can see what I did here for Stanley. 3D is mostly used on commercial advertisement product shoots. And in conclusion, you can use and do different things on Autodesk Maya. So to start with the demo, let's first understand the foundation, which is the parts of a 3D object. So we see here in the corners or the points, we call that vertex points in geometry, as you remember. And edges, where 2 points align. And then the face. So we can see here the different poly counts. So 6 faces, 1, 2, 3, and at the back 4, 5, 6. So for the cuboid, almost the same. And the reason why there are 3D objects is because of this graph right here. So in 2D, it's two dimensions, which is x and y. On 3D, it's three dimensions, which is x, y, and z. So x, horizontal, y, vertical, and z to have that thickness. Now we can continue in Autodesk Maya. So you're going to have to install Autodesk Maya on their website using your student email. And then you're gonna click on new. Don't save. And this will be your viewport. So now we will not be tackling everything. So we were just going to be understanding the basics in 3D. So I press this button to create a polygon cube. I'm going to press R to scale it and W to move it around. So these are the hotkeys. So this is for move W, E for rotate, and R for scale. So those are the foundation in modifying the 3D objects. So for moving an object, you're going to have to move the object using these controls right here, these arrows. And to rotate the object, going to have to use these curves right here to hold it. And to scale an object to make it larger, smaller, just going to have to click here and hold it and move your mouse to scale it, make it bigger and smaller. So on Autodesk Maya, we have different objects that we can start on, and we also have different workspaces. So as I said, modeling is for creating objects, sculpting is for doing sculptures like in real life, for adding, it's like painting, post sculpting, almost the same. UV editing is for texturing and optimizing it for being high quality. And XGen is for generating grass most of the time or hair. Rigging is for adding bones to the character. And animation is for moving objects and assigning the XYZ values for the location in moving one object from one place to another. And in rendering, you can see here, if you have an object here, we're going to put a camera here and put some light there. That's it for the rendering part. And for the mesh, this is for visual effects. As I said earlier, for liquid effects, motion graphics, for more additional effects we have here. So we have presets here that we can just drag and drop. And for Bifrost fluids, which I use for effects. As I said earlier, fire, lightning, smoke, for hair, for cloth, there is water here also. And that's all for the whole workspaces. We will tackle everything soon, but for now, don't get overwhelmed. And I want you to really be relaxed. We're going to take this opportunity to learn Autodesk Maya slowly, one by one, and I'm not really going to rush. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer anything, because as you can see here, this is where I commonly work on, and I mostly know everything around here, especially this. You can see there are many buttons here, and I almost know everything here. Some I don't use, like the form, surfaces, But most of the mesh windows here, I'm comfortable in teaching you guys. So that's all, and I hope you have fun in learning Autodesk Maya.